The New York Jets canceled the final day of mandatory minicamp. We heard that yesterday, but Aaron Glenn explained why he did it. Denzel Mims is back in the NFL, plus the latest highlights from episode 2 of Flight 26. We'll talk about all of it. Boy Green Daily with a special guest starts next.
Oh my gosh, it's morphin' time! To me, talking New York Jets is my superpower. Boy Green Daily starts now. Wow! Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily.
It's not just football, man.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teamwork, Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go!
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. If you're coming on in on YouTube, make sure you guys like the video. That does a tremendous effort to help get this Jet show in front of other Jet fans in the audience. And also, hit subscribe if you're not already a subscriber to the channel. We're also streaming live on Facebook and Twitter out there in the universe live for those joining us. Appreciate that as well. And also, there's an audio-only version of this podcast that's available after the show for driving around in the car, in your house, workout perhaps, or wherever. That is the Believe Network on Amazon, Apple, Spotify, all those different places. That show is available for you guys out in the audience. So appreciate everybody that is tuning in. I can't do this show on a Friday without a special guest. He is the author of this book, Beyond Broadway Joe, the Super Bowl team that changed football. That is Bob Lederer. So let's bring him on the show. Bob, you're in Israel or somewhere else, or I give you a lot of credit for meticulously putting your office from the Chicago area back together just exactly right behind you. I'm impressed.
Thank you, Google Chrome.
Blessed be he. How you doing here, Bob? It was great to have you on the show yesterday. Now, once again, we have you on the show in your normal
Another
spot.
day in weather paradise here. And by the way, I want to just...
What's the weather?
It's about 80, 85 degrees, a little bit of humidity. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's a beautiful day. It's already 2:35 in the afternoon here. And by the way, I mentioned yesterday we're at an elevated altitude. My son-in-law told me yesterday we were half a mile up. So it's like 2,600 feet.
So is that like Denver-ish territory, or is this better or worse?
Denver's a mile high.
Mile high. That makes sense, right?
But everything here seems to be walking uphill.
I see.
So I'm getting a good amount of exercise just walking around because I'm always walking up.
Yeah,
so,
that makes sense. Okay, well, I love it. Well, Bob, it's great to have you here this morning. Thank you to everybody.
Can I introduce you to one of my grandchildren? Oh, she's running away.
Sure.
Bye, Allie. Well, she was here, and then now she's gone.
Yeah, that's how they work, from what I understand with these damn kids running.
Sit on the chair.
Okay.
Sit on the chair.
Okay. Hey, how you doing?
Say hi to Paul. Say hi to my friend Paul.
Oh, the giggles this morning. Okay. Oh, your hair looks great. Nice. Oh, and you brush your own hair. My daughter doesn't brush her own hair.
You're 7 years old, right?
Almost 8.
Almost 8.
Almost 8. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, it's a
what? In July.
Oh wow, that's coming up. That's only a couple weeks away. Cool.
No, it's July.
Yeah, it's in July. Oh, that's awesome.
I'm not going to argue with a 7-year-old.
No, that'd be or 7, almost 8-year-olds.
Yeah. Well, since I am leasing their office space
even
here.
At school, it says Yom Shishi Tammuz.
Okay. All right, good. So your birthday is in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Well,
all right. Well, since I'm leasing space from my family here for my parents, we may get some other guests during the course.
Great. All right. Phenomenal. The more the merrier. Yeah. Great.
See, so this gentleman, he's in New York.
Yep.
and I'm here.
In
Isn't
Israel.
that weird?
Wait, what is
I'm here in Israel.
Yep.
And this gentleman, Paul, with the beard and the thing that says NYJ, he's
There you
in
go.
New York. Isn't that amazing?
Technology. Pretty
Okay.
cool.
Papa came from America. Wait, why did you do this?
Why is that behind me?
Yeah.
Because I wrote a book about the New York Jets, which you have a copy of downstairs.
Right here. It is available. You can buy it wherever you get your books. Beyond Broadway Joe, there's
Lederer.
in the Change Football.
So I come on and I talk about football.
Yep.
You know, when this nice man says, "Would you come on and talk about football with us?"
It's true. It's a true story.
So
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you.
Okay, listen. Why don't you go and I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Do me a favor, close the door. Thanks.
Right.
Thanks, Yali.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And you said, what's her name?
Her name is actually let me get it. We call her Yali. Her name is Ali Sheva.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you met Alicia yesterday.
Yes, right. I'm meeting all kinds of grandchildren running around the yard. All right, nice.
So 2 down and 3 to go.
3 more to go. Okay.
3 more to go.
Gracious.
I make no promises, but we might have some guest appearances.
Okay, great. Well, that would be spectacular. I like when we have more guests on the show, and I like when we have new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to our #1 Austrian Jets fan. Welcome on in, brother. 33 raffle tickets so far this month. #1 Austrian Jets fan. Appreciate all your support and all the support that has come from the Coffee Club, Espresso Club, and everywhere else so far this month. You are in first place, of course, in our raffle ticket contest. Let's reveal that new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Then we'll get into the topic at hand. By the way, Kevin Tattoos, you're now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. A salute to our #1 Austrian Jets fan out there in the audience. Now, we'll start here, Bob, because there's a lot to get to. Now, you just happened to be on the show when the news broke yesterday that the Jets were canceling the final day of mandatory minicamp. So we did talk about that on the show yesterday. However, the thing we didn't was, why did they cancel it? What the hell happened?
Yeah, I mean, was it the same reason that they canceled the visit by the #1 draft pick? To
right, David Bailey.
Guys?
Yes, right.
Maybe they like that way of operating. I don't know. So what was the official reason?
So we'll share that here. And also Brian Schottenheimer, for instance, as a random example, they canceled their final day of mandatory minicamp with the Dallas Cowboys. So again, it's not just the Jets. Before we get into this, I just want to reiterate, it's not just the Jets. A lot of teams are doing this, but let me throw this up. So let me get my reading glasses out here because this is a book and a half, not quite Beyond Broadway Joe, but this is the opening statement from Aaron Glenn in this form, and I will read it to everybody out there in the audience, where he explains why he canceled the last day of minicamp, and then we could talk about it here. So this is from Aaron Glenn yesterday morning. He still spoke, even though they canceled mandatory minicamp. He spoke a little after 11 a.m. He says, all right, good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. So obviously I canceled practice today. Had the players come in. We had a team meeting where we discussed things that went on throughout the offseason and expectations of what I want from the guys as they come back. But listen, the guys have given me the coaching staff. The guys have given me, the coaching staff, even themselves and their teammates, everything that I've asked of them throughout these phases. The participation has been outstanding. The work they've put in has been outstanding. And I like exactly where we are. And when I said that, I told those guys is I want to get to the point where I love where we're at. And we know that when you want to love it, it's going to take some time. So we know exactly the things that we have to do to improve in those areas. But I do like where we're at and looking forward to some downtime and then getting into training camp and getting to the point where I love exactly where we're at as a team. Any questions? I have several, Aaron Glenn. Thank you for asking. So, Bob, there's a couple of layers here that, if he likes where they're at and doesn't love where they're at, a way to get from like to love may be more practice time. That would be possible to get more to where you love to be. The Jets are coming off a 3-14 season. it's sort of arrogant.
Not the 12-5 that you predicted last year.
They were not. It was slightly off. That's true, and I appreciate you pointing that out.
Not even the 6-11 that I thought they would have last year.
It was actually cut in half, as a matter of fact, and people thought you were being pessimistic with 6 wins. So take that for what you will as you're evaluating here. So to me, I think the Jets need as much practice time as everybody else, and quite frankly, maybe more practice time, not less. So I think there's a lot of layers to this, Bob, and I want. Yeah, go ahead.
There may be some members of the squad that are operating at so far, peak effectiveness and efficiency.
Yeah.
But don't tell me that they couldn't have done more work, with their kicking game and their special teams.
Mm-hmm.
You can always, especially the kicking game. They don't have a proven kicker that they can reliably start the season with. They have, 4 really top rookies, and I'm not at all convinced that all of them are ready to step up and play professional football, at necessary levels of competence and quality.
Mm-hmm.
They have how many new members to the squad that they signed as free agent? 11 or 12?
Yep, sure.
Plus the free agents they signed after the draft. I'm from the Lombardi school. To me, you practice and you practice until you get everything right. And I can't believe they've gotten everything right. And they haven't even put the pads on yet.
Right.
And they're still learning the playbooks
mm-hmm.
because they have, a new coaching staff on offense and defense.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody has got the playbook down pat. And on top of what I said yesterday, they hadn't been able to use Cade at all this week,
right?
Because he wasn't prepared to play. They said, "Oh, maybe Thursday." Well, Thursday got canceled.
So this is interesting. A quick nugget on that. So Aaron Glenn cancels practice. He still meets with the media. At a random point during his answer, or his press conference, he says, "Hey, we were supposed to see Cade today, and we would have for sure, but we didn't practice." I'm not sure whether I buy that or not. Like if we would have, but because now it doesn't matter. We're not going to see. We did not.
Well, you would have had to practice just for the reason of getting him the practice time that he needs and deserves, since you're playing him up.
Sure.
As this guy. Okay, he might be the number 2. But if he's not, he's probably going to be the 3rd quarterback who might get called in an emergency this season. To me, every minute of practice time can only benefit him. So if the Dallas Cowboys had to cancel their practice, well, that's a Schottenheimer. So what do you expect? But because we've seen that, been there, done that. I just don't understand, why they would cancel. Is that, you're thanking the players. This is your way of thanking and showing appreciation by saying we're not going to practice today. Mm-hmm. I'll bet you there are a lot of guys that were looking forward yesterday to taking a step forward from where they already were doing, in Aaron Glenn's mind, fine, doing well enough for the time. Because when they come back in a month, then it's real football with pads and hitting and everything. So, okay, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. But the explanation, to me, it almost sounds, I'm not going to say he's lazy. I'm sure he's anything but lazy. But, that's the first thought that came to my mind yesterday. What are you canceling it for?
Yeah.
If the weather was horrendous, if it was 120 degrees and you didn't want players fainting on the field, or if it was a monsoon, okay, but they have an indoor practice facility.
They do. That's what I was just about to point out. So, yeah.
So, anyway.
And it doesn't appear, Jets were wide asking, was there a team bonding activity? Because there's been times in the past where Rex Ryan would cancel practice, they'd go do something. From everything that's been reported so far, there's been no team bonding activity. So that was not a piece of the puzzle. I will also point this out. There are 2 teams that just canceled their straight up mandatory minicamp all of the days. So they didn't do anything this week. That was the Rams and the 49ers, and both of them are really good teams, of course, and stable franchises. They didn't practice at all during the minicamp. They went to break super early. Aaron Glenn canceled the last day. These teams canceled the entire week of activities. So again, it goes back and forth. I don't want to overreact because I think I could see it from both sides. On one hand, there's not a lot of injuries. Luby's asking about an injury update on Sadiq and Klubnik, and we could talk about that in a second. But outside of those 2, the team's fully healthy. So AG may say, hey, I don't want to jinx this thing. We're looking good and heading into training camp. I agree. That's a good reason to potentially not practice, have everybody right before training camp because last couple of years, Chuck Clark, I think, got injured on the final play of the final practice, and that's incredibly unfortunate. It was lost for the season. So I guess anything can happen. But I always say if you leave your front door, you could get hit by a bus. Like injuries can happen anywhere in life. You can't play scared. You can't walk around scared. So again,
do we know if they had any team meetings, even though they didn't have
practice? They did. So as AG said, they had all their team meetings. All the players showed up. They did all their film and chatting around and whatever that included of the meetings. Right. And they just chose not to practice. Aaron Glenn announced that at the 8 a.m. While we were doing Boy Green Daily yesterday, he announced it to his team of like, hey, we're doing all this meeting stuff, but we're not doing all the other actual practice. So they ended up walking away. So like I said, I could see it from both sides. I know what my dad would say if I asked him about them canceling mandatory minicamp.
What would your dad say?
Oh, he would say moron, and then he'd be yelling and pointing at things and saying all kinds of things of that nature because he used to play football back in the day.
What do you say about your Dallas Cowboys canceling? Brett?
That's true, and then I would get another interesting response, I'm sure. Again, here's the thing: if I was running the operation, I wouldn't want to cancel practice. They cancel practice, I'm not going to lose my mind in June. The Cowboys did it, the Rams did it, the 49ers did it. Yeah. Now, just because all the cool kids in the block are jumping off the bridge doesn't mean you should. But the fact of the matter is we shouldn't lose our barnacles about this. Let's see them at training camp in about a month and a week and about 6 weeks or so, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right. So appreciate everybody out there in the audience. A lot of questions and comments coming in. And I will get to the Flight 26 stuff. I see you guys asking about it. We have a clip actually to play from that. But before that, Bob, Denzel Mims is back in the NFL. We don't have to spend a ton of time on this, but our former Jets draft bust has signed, speaking of those Cowboys, he joined the Dallas Cowboys, and it's sort of crazy. And Bob, I was reading the transaction report, and it's filled with Jets. So here is what happened yesterday for the Dallas Cowboys. So they signed 2 former Jets, Denzel Mims and Chris Glazer. He's the some people may not remember the name, but he was an Aaron Rodgers buddy during the 2023 year. They just became really good friends, and that was shown on Hard Knocks and all that other stuff. So the Cowboys signed Denzel Mims and Chris Glazer, 2 former Jets. To make room for those 2 players, they cut former Jet Corey Ballantyne, the cornerback, and then they placed Matt Hennessy on injured reserve, ending his season. He is the younger brother of Jets long snapper Thomas Hennessy. So there's all this Jet news. Jet all over the place. Do you have any fond memories of Denzel Mims there, Bob Lederer?
Yeah, I thought he had potential. I was surprised they let him go as quickly as they did.
Yeah. Traded him to Detroit.
Especially given the quarterbacks that were thrown to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody in the last 4 or 5 years has really had a fair shot. Sure. Except for the 1 year when Rodgers was healthy.
Right.
And if you have a quarterback who can't deliver the ball, how can you show what you can do? But there seems to be no doubt that the Denzel Mims draft was a bust.
Oh, yeah. Mekhi Becton was that draft. He was our first-round draft choice.
Dallas clearly, they needed other none of the guys you say they cut was a wide receiver.
No.
But they just may need an extra body in camp.
Yeah.
For the third string to play against the third string.
Yeah.
That's all I can make of it. But I think I'm going to sleep well tonight.
Yeah.
With the knowledge that Denzel Mims is out in California with the Cowboys.
There you go.
In practice.
Yeah, I will just say this for Denzel Mims. So he never had a touchdown in his career with the Jets, so that was incredibly unfortunate. And the real big point of consternation was the coaching staff, and this is multiple coaching staff, because he came in as a Gase guy, and then obviously he was with Saleh until he was traded to the Detroit Lions, is the coaching staff kept saying, hey, Denzel Mims doesn't know every wide receiver position. He doesn't know all the different wide receiver positions, and thus he can't play. And then fans are saying, like, okay, I hear you. He doesn't know everything, but doesn't he know something? Like he has 4.3 speed. Can't you just have him run deep and chuck it up every once in a while?
And
So
whose fault is it that he doesn't know, the flanker position, the slot receiver position? I mean,
do you blame the teacher or the student, Bob? So that's
the
universal
position
question.
coach. What in the world is the position coach doing with the guy?
Yeah, I have no idea. But that's what the coaching staff kept saying at every press conference when we'd go another game with no Denzel Mims, no Denzel. We're like, what the hell is going on here? And they're like, well, he doesn't know everything. And we're like, is that on the teacher not being able to teach it? Is that on Mims not being able to receive the information? That I'm not sure, and maybe we'll never be sure. But that was the whole debate the entire time. And then ultimately, Denzel Mims sort of bounced around the league for a while. He got traded to the Lions, but he got cut. He didn't make the roster. He joined up with the Steelers, but didn't last long there. He joined up with the Jaguars for a cup of coffee, didn't last long there. And then the last 2 years, he's actually been out of the NFL entirely, which is why it's an NFL comeback here. He's been in the United Football League. He was with the St. Louis Battlehawks, where he crashed over with, I believe, Anthony Becht, another former Jet, who was the head coach of that team. And then this past year / last 6 months, when he joined the Dallas Renegades, there in the United Football League. I just want to give a huge shout out here because, again, I'm sure there's not a lot of Denzel Mims lovers out there in the audience that are enjoying that story. But the only thing I'll say and that I like is that the United Football League, the UFL, has given a lot of opportunities to these guys for second chances, and I think that's super cool. There is no AAA. There is no minor league in football. There's no direct affiliation between the UFL and the NFL. I hope eventually we reach that point because, again, I'll tell you as a Jets fan, if there was some baby Jets, call them whatever, the flight crew or whatever the hell you called them, and it was a minor league team that had our draft picks or lower level players to give them playing time and reps, I'd watch those games. I'd analyze that. I'd be all for it to give them development and opportunity. So I hope the NFL does do that one day.
A big play-by-play chance.
Hey, yeah, that's true too. Selfish
and by the way,
reasons.
getting back to Denzel Mims for a minute.
Yeah.
Here comes one of the grandkids.
Okay.
But Denzel Mims now has obviously absorbed a lot of different playbooks. I think he's ready to write. I think he's ready to write a book for wide receivers about being a wide receiver in the National Football League. So coming back to make his second appearance in
he's back.
Days is Alicia.
Hey, what's up, Alicia?
This is Paul. Can you say hi to Paul? Just say hi. You don't have to do more than that.
High five? Handshake?
Low five? How about a low five?
Yeah,
None
low five? None five? What about a mid five?
None of them.
None of that. Oh, man. All right.
Now, you got a birthday coming up soon, too, right? Yeah, very soon.
When's your birthday?
December.
It's in
December.
August,
oh, yeah, that's right around the corner.
August 31st.
Wait, it's August? Or is it December?
Yeah, his birthday's in August.
Oh,
see,
August.
You see, here in, I should explain. Here in Israel, they obviously they operate on an Israeli calendar.
Out there
And not on, I guess it's the Roman calendar that most of the world does.
Grandpa.
So they'll make reference to my birthday is on this date, on the Hebrew calendar. They 1 second. They benefit. They have two birthdays. They have the Hebrew birthday.
You get two birthday parties?
You get two birthdays, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Man, you broke out right. I only get one. Yeah, I don't get two.
Yeah, he only gets one birthday. Isn't that sad?
Wow.
And I get two birthdays.
Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
you seem really proud of that.
One that's fake and one that's real.
One's fake and one's real. Okay.
I'm not going to lie, Alicia. You're really shoving that in my face right now. That's not.
Why don't you say bye? Because Grandpa's got to talk to Paul. Okay.
Okay.
Say goodbye. Good Shabbos.
No.
Okay. And see you later.
Good Shabbos. See you later,
alligator.
See you later, alligator. There you go. All right, grandkid number 2.
High
All right.
five me, Alicia. Okay.
Oh, you got a high five. That's nice. Hey, by the way, if you guys are keeping track at home, that was B4. B4 on your bingo card. If we get the other 3 grandchildren, you'll get a perfect bingo. Whoever yells it first gets the prize. That's just how it works.
Actually, he was B5.
B5.
Bingo!
He's the
I said it. Bingo.
Oh, he said it. Yep, he won.
Because he's the fifth. He's the 5th out of 5. And
he's the 5th.
Oh,
B5.
Here before is the third. Is the 4th out of 5.
Okay, B4.
So we still need a B1 and a B2 and a B3.
Okay, let us know as that continues to happen. Again,
So
Paul is the junior here.
You're going to have to be quiet so I can talk to Paul about important stuff, okay?
Yeah, very important matters, Alicia. Very important matters indeed.
Football is life. I've told you baseball is life, but football is life too.
Yeah, groundbreaking stuff here. Again,
and basketball.
Basketball, of course. Hoops. We got to get some of that in.
Absolutely.
So we've got all 3 of us here on the show. There you go. Alicia, Bob Lederer, Boy Green.
We're done with Denzel Mims. Can we get on to something that will really bore him completely?
Oh, yeah, there you go. That'll send him to sleep. But I will just give, again, one last shout out to the United Football League. I think that's great news that there is another opportunity for players. I wish I would have texted my UFL insider guy this morning. I didn't have time, but he would have given me a guess, a relative number of how many UFL players have signed with NFL teams. And it's at least 25 or 30 and maybe more of what has gone through on the report. So big shout out. That's amazing. We'll see if these players make 53-man rosters. It's nice that they're making it at this point. But again, a huge shout out to the United Football League.
A noticeable number of guys are also coming down from the Canadian Football League.
I saw that too. Sure. Yeah.
Some guy, I didn't get to read the story, but some guy on the, working out in the Bears camp is apparently wowing, the
excellent
organization. So.
Hey, take it for wherever they come. I don't care if they come from planet Mars. I don't care if they come from Israel. I don't care if they come from UFL, XFL, AAF. If you can play football, we'll find you anywhere on planet Earth. So I think that's how it works.
I play football.
You play football? What position?
Left out.
No.
What position, Alicia?
Do you play?
Quarterback?
Say quarterback. Because you have
running
a good
back?
arm. He has a good arm.
Wide receiver?
I bought him a baseball glove on this trip, and he showed
there you
me
go.
yesterday how well he can throw the ball.
Defensive tackle?
Knocked me over a couple of times.
Off-ball linebacker? Corner?
Not this one.
Safety? Kicker? Punter?
Not this
Long snapper?
one.
Gunner?
No.
No?
Not this one. It's this one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, look at the gun show you're bringing. That's nice, Alicia.
That's right.
Appreciate that.
Show me your muscles.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Hey, way to go, Alicia.
Okay.
Appreciate it. All right, let's do this. Everyone's asking about Flight 26, Episode 2 came out last night. Here's a clip that'll fire up some people and maybe wake up everybody in the audience.
Watch that myself. Yep.
Here we go.
Get a guy who, and like the term I like to use is a high horsepower guy, just has elite physical gifts. I just think that's a unique opportunity.
Kenyon's obviously speed really stands out at the position.
Number 1 tight end available by far and away, according to his measurements. And the Ducks off and rolling.
He's flying.
Kenyon Sadiq, 4-4 flat.
Yeah, he was absolutely flying.
It has been 16 years since we saw 4-4 flat by a tight end. So a box that we assumed he would check, he just did.
He's a dynamic player, had a dynamic college career. It's not hard to envision how to use a guy like that at this level. It's not hard how to envision how to use a guy like that in our offense.
And to me, that's got to be the most fired up, exciting thing for Jet fans.
Fast.
Okay.
You can? All right, we'll see you guys race. That'd be great between you
I'll see you later, all right?
you and Kenyon Sadiq. I would just say that for Jet fans, you should be fired up by that to hear that Frank Reich, the offensive coordinator, says it's not hard to envision how Kenyon Sadiq is used at this level. It's not hard to envision how he's used in this offense, and because that's the big question when you draft a guy like that. and you already had Mason Taylor. How are you going to utilize everybody together? That was a big key, a big piece to the puzzle, and we still have to see what that looks like. But it's great to hear that Frank Reich is like, hey, man, I know exactly how I plan on using him. That's pretty exciting stuff.
Well, yeah, and Frank Reich is, we hope, the kind of guy that can mesh all these capabilities together. It's not something that he has historically done, but, you can teach an old dog new tricks, and I have some, faith that these things are gonna work well for them. And the reason I do believe that is that he even still believes in the tight end that he had in Indianapolis a couple of years ago, who's on the Jet squad now, and he's giving him a chance. And that didn't have to happen. They have enough bodies in camp where he didn't have to make an appearance on the field in any important situation, and yet they gave him that chance. And when he showed on a couple of plays what he could do, he got mentioned and got some pub. So yeah, I think if they can just get Sadiq healthy, and from what I read between the lines this week, he seemed to be progressing medically ahead of what their timing was, which is good news.
Yes, we could talk about that in a second. Quick shout out again. That was Flight 26, a brand new New York Jets docu-series. Episode 2 dropped last night. Episode 3 is set to drop tonight. I saw that JR327 was disappointed. He said, watch episode 2 yesterday. Bummed you guys didn't make it from the pit. If we're going to make it, it's going to be on the next episode, I'd imagine, with the Omar Cooper Jr. trade-up pick. That's where we would potentially make it on the show. I don't know. They didn't say, hey, Paul, you're going to be on the show. I have no idea. We're all going to find out together.
I just think they don't want to pay you the residuals, Paul. That's what I think it is.
You know what's funny? Speaking of that, so we're at the NFL draft, and we keep doing Jet chants because the cameras keep coming over. And they told us, you guys are the most engaging group in this pit. Like the rest of them are sort of giving us half, basically, hopefully, all the grandkids are away, but half-assed effort. Like it's just like, go Bengals or blah, blah. But we're like screaming, J-E-T-S. So the NFL Network, ESPN cameras just kept coming over and over and over again. And then at some point late in the draft, a bunch of suits and ties come over, and I was like, oh, geez, are we getting in trouble or something?
Yep.
And they came out with a bunch of clipboards, said, hey, if you guys sign this, we're going to have you on all our coverage for the 2027 NFL draft and 2026 draft. We love all the Jet chants. These clips and everything.
You did what I was going to ask. You did have to sign, didn't have to.
We did.
So turn your rights away.
Exactly. It was funny because they said, hey, sign this and we will market you when we're talking draft or Jets. We're going to use these clips and it'll be awesome. And there was a guy that was in our group that was maybe 1 row or 2 rows behind Lou B, who said, sweet, I can't wait to get some money. Like, this is awesome. And the NFL guy with the tie said, actually, you're signing this so we don't have to give you money. And the guy laughed in the background.
You guys needed a lawyer in the group.
Apparently, because the kid thought he was signing it to get money to be marketed. He went, absolutely not. It's the opposite. We're signing so we don't have to pay you money. And then the guy went, no, I still want to be on. He's like, yeah, I know you do. Sign this. And so that was a funny moment.
Everybody signed?
I don't know if everyone in our group did. I did because I'm like, sure, I don't, that's marketing me, so I don't care. Sure. Like, I don't know if they blurt you out or don't use that.
You just signed it, Boy Green?
I should have. Yeah, they asked for all kinds of information so they could reach out and let you know if something's happening.
Yeah, everybody should have used their nicknames. Lou B.
That would have been cool. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know if they're putting any names on the screen or they're just going to be using random B-roll for footage, but either way, that's cool. So if you see the lead up to 2027 NFL draft.
And that's smart on their part.
Oh, of course.
They led you to believe that, we're going to make use of you and your group or whatever, and you'll be excited at this. And by the way, sign this so we don't have to pay you anything.
Exactly. So that's great. Or else I imagine they either couldn't use the footage or would have had to blur people out or something, which would have looked weird on camera.
Written with an asterisk at the bottom,
Yeah, exactly. Right.
$100 for each use.
Yeah, per use. That would have been lovely. So JR327, if it's going to happen, it'll be episode 3 tonight. I do highly recommend it. They're about 30-minute episodes. They're fascinating. Now, some of it is information you've already heard. Here, the Jets signed this guy. Yeah, I knew about that 3 months ago. So it's not presenting new information that way.
And I got to tell you, I watched about half of it this morning, and I was kind of underwhelmed because I don't know if they even identified the first guy who started in that video. He's obviously one of their scouts and one of their decision makers.
Yeah, so he didn't introduce himself like, "Hey, my name is Bob."
Yeah, but
It
they
said
could
it
have
on the
run
screen.
his name across. They could have run
They
his
did.
name across the screen.
They
I mean,
did.
They did. He talks to his son. So, 7-year-old son of mine, who do you think we should take in the first round today?
Yes, it was a cute moment. Yes. They did put his name on the screen, though, for all the people. So whether it's Frank Reich, Aaron Glenn, he is. I know his first name's Jay. I can't remember how to pronounce his last name. It's like Mandolfi or something like that. So yes, they did put names on the screen during this. But yes, JR327. If me, Lou B, Johnny Boy are gonna make it on, it'll be tonight for episode 3 in the pit when they make the crazy trade.
I didn't get to watch the whole thing. Did they reveal it all in the conversation as they were making these two picks? Anything you didn't already know about their thinking?
Only some of the stuff, so like the clip I just shared where he was talking about Sadiq. Now, this isn't like, I'm trying to think, I can't remember because they changed, like this year's version is called Flight 26. Last year's version could have been called Take Flight or something. Like they change the name every year. So I can't remember what iteration I'm about to bring up is, but they did it behind the scenes on the draft. And in that you were learning stuff like, whoa, it was like the 2023 draft. So it was whatever that year was. They said whatever the series was called in that year, but they showed like the 3 players the Jets were considering with the 15th overall pick. That was new information. Will McDonald, Michael Mayer, and I can't remember who the third person was. But
it was an offensive tackle that they really wanted. But
Broderick Jones then. Yeah.
Taken by the Patriots.
Yes. Yes, they traded that pick to the Steelers. Yeah, Broderick Jones is that name. Thank you. So no, in that documentary, you're like, oh my God, they're considering these 3 guys. We didn't know that before that documentary. So there isn't so far groundbreaking information like that, like they're giving us scoops. They're telling it from the perspective, like they're showing in the draft room, having conversations, but they already knew they took Kenyon Sadiq, and they're like telling new stories about their process about Sadiq. So I'm not, like I said, it's not 2023. I'm not learning groundbreaking information like, oh, wow, they took this guy instead of this guy, and here are the other guys in consideration. They haven't shown that yet. Maybe they'll show that tonight. But it's just new information like the Frank Reich clip I played yesterday. Or
it would be interesting to just see a conversation going on about, hey, look, we know we need a wide receiver.
Yeah.
But if we take Sadiq here, can we get, one of these other guys, after we take Sadiq, or do we have to take one of these other standard wide receivers now? It would have been interesting just to hear the byplay, about that, because they had a long time to make that decision about what they were going to do at 16. And in fact, as you recall, the defensive lineman suddenly popped up as available at 15.
Right. Ruben Bain. Yes.
Yeah. So, that'd be interesting, but okay. I mean, look, we're all as fans still pretty happy. In fact, overjoyed by the picks they got in the first round.
Sure. Definitely.
Hopefully they'll all work out.
Yeah, I will say that's the other thing that was, I'm pretty sure, in the 2023 doc is like they showed cameras in the room for free agency discussions. Like who's someone they randomly signed? Joseph Asai. Like in the past, they would have shown them like scout, because they do all these layers of pro personnel scouting, and they're like, hey, all right, let's get into the pass rushers here. Who are the guys we should target? And then a person will stand up and say, Joseph Asai, he's this young. This is how he fits in our scheme. And they show that, and I'm like, whoa, that's cool. They haven't shown any of that this time around. That was back in 2023. So hopefully we get some more of that. That'd be awesome. But I've enjoyed it. They're 30-minute episodes. We're in the middle of nothingness right now, so all content is accepted as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, it's been pretty interesting. So we'll see. I think episode 3, like I said, is set to premiere tonight, and they've been about 30 minutes a pop. So shout out to the folks over at One Jets Drive with Flight 26. Some nice content there. Really appreciate it. All right, Bob. So now, now we have officially entered the dark period. I guess technically we entered it yesterday when practice was canceled, but we're in the dark period. The Jets have not announced their training camp dates yet. Other teams have, so I don't know what the Jets are waiting for, but maybe it's coming at some point. The beat expects the Jets first practice to be on July 28th. So that's 5 weeks away, almost 6 weeks away is how far away it is. Now we'll see from the Jets when they officially announce this. And normally a few days before, like rookies show up and stuff. So normally like the 22nd or 23rd. So we have a month of nothingness. Bob, what's your insights to Jet fans as we enter this dark period?
Yeah, that's my insight.
I see. Silence is
And
golden.
it's the most boring time of the year.
Hopefully. I guess that's what I would say. Hopefully it is. Yeah.
There's still some free agents out there.
Plenty,
that need to find teams. So that might, if it's going to break, I would think it would break now, or maybe they're waiting for injuries. Who knows? But I remember as I was growing up that I was pretty bored this time of the year because I was looking forward to the first day of training camp. And, it's a long period where, there's really nothing to be reported other than gossip and scoops about this and that and the other thing. Or, I don't know. And thank God we have some things to look forward here, at least on Fridays on Boy Green.
That is 100% true, people. That's 100% true. So let's make sure we highlight exactly what that's going to be. Thank you, my beautiful fiance. Let's highlight what some of those conversations are going to be. Yes, I have it here on the screen somewhere in my notes. Where did I put this thing? Where did I put this puppy? Geez, my reading glasses out. Oh, geez. Yeah, maybe it's over here somewhere. Good Lord. I need my spectacles to try to see where we had it. Here it is.
You have separate glasses even at this point in your
I should. Or go to the bridge through my nose, maybe. Okay, here we go. So, folks, we are officially in the dead period, which means we should hopefully not hear any news. If you hear any news, that's normally a bad thing. Someone's driving, someone's getting arrested, like some horrific thing is happening. So hopefully that does not happen over the next 5 weeks, because that is something I'd rather not talk about. So Jets, stay clean, don't get in trouble. But while we're in this dead period, something me and Bob are doing here, and Bob deserves all the credit for organizing all of these, is we're going to be speaking to former members of the Super Bowl III team that are now just living their life in normal civilian life, and we're going to catch up with them and tell stories, talk about the Jets, and all kinds of wonderful things. And that has already started, quite frankly. Mark Smolinski, if you guys did not hear that interview, I highly recommend going to check it out. We'll also be talking to several others, including Carl McAdams next week. A week from today, we'll have Carl McAdams on the show. We also have Earl Christie on the docket, Randy Rasmussen on the docket, and more, as Bob says, as he's working on more people. So this is going to be pretty cool over the next 5-6 weeks or so, talking to a bunch of these Super Bowl III legends that, quite frankly, deserve some spotlight. And now's a perfect any time would be perfect, but now's a particularly perfect time to talk to some of these legends and see what we can do. So this is going to be great.
As I've stated too many times about my book, and it's been almost a year now since I have joined Boy Green on Fridays.
That's correct.
I wrote the book because I felt that not enough of a spotlight was maintained on the guys on that Super Bowl team that were not named Namath or Matt Snell or Don Maynard, but particularly not Joe Namath. And the three names you just saw there, Carl McAdams was Carl McAdams, nobody remembers this. But when he came out of Oklahoma in 1965, after the 65 college season, which is just for a time period, the year after Joe Namath joined the Jets, Carl McAdams became the highest paid defensive lineman in NFL history when he signed his contract with the Jets. Now, even I had forgotten that. But he got a cool $350,000 to sign with the Jets. Namath had gotten $400,000. Both of them got 3-year contracts. So that's how heralded this guy was. And as you will find out next week, or if you have the book already, he unfortunately hit the biggest roadblock you can in life, and that is he got terribly injured in the midst of his rookie season and never was able to really show on the field. all the talents that they assumed he was going to show. Earl Christie, Carmack Adams, by the way, lives in Oklahoma, and he's a farmer. He raises cattle and other animals, and he's just a wonderful, wonderful guy. Earl Christie is a bit of a preacher. He lives in Florida, and he does a lot of podcasting himself, but he's very much into his Christianity, as you will see and hear when we bring him on board. And he's always been a character. He was a collegiate teammate of Emerson Boozer. In fact, he joined the Jets I believe as a free agent when Boozer joined the Jets as a sixth-round draft pick, as I recall. And Randy Rasmussen was an offensive lineman out of Iowa who joined the Jets as an unheralded draft pick. And immediately, in joining the Jets in training camp, showed an uncanny, first of all, recognition of the offensive playbook. And he told me the reason was they had run basically the identical playbook in college. So he had very little learning to do.
Oh, great.
Mentally. And he was so physically gifted. He had thighs that were like twice the size of anybody else. So he was a bulldozer, and the Jets, used him immediately as their third string offensive guard. And he didn't just sit on the bench; he actually got in and had a lot of playing activity because the two offensive guards they had, Bob Talamini and Dave Herman, just happened to get hurt, and Randy Rasmussen excelled, and that was his rookie year, the Super Bowl year. And he felt at the end of the Super Bowl year, wow, I'm 23 years old. I just went to the Super Bowl my first year. This is going to be a lot of fun to do again. And he never again got close.
Wow.
In fact, they barely had 500 teams in the next 15 years or so. But he was a stalwart playing offensive lineman. And if you look at, who's the all-time best offensive lineman, for the Jets, Randy may not be a starter on every one of those teams, but he is certainly in the mix and not somebody that gets thrown off to the side very quickly. Very, very well-spoken, very smart guy. Raised horses after he retired. And also he did color on Jets football broadcasts for some time too, after Dave Herman, who had first started to do it, left that position.
We have a lot to talk about, it sounds like, Bob.
Yeah, we do. These are three very diverse guys, and there are other guys I'm going after who are equally different. And again, that was why I did the book, because I wanted to know who were these guys off the field, and what did they think about what's going on. Earl Christie, by the way, also one of the really close friends of Joe Namath on the team.
So are you saying that a good interview there could lead to other things, perhaps?
Well, I'm not saying that I'm going to ask Earl if he can help us with Joe, but I wouldn't raise my hopes, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. If he has a good experience with us, which I have no doubt he will. Yeah. Anything is possible.
Now, let me answer this. I hear Mark Sacchetti saying anyone from the 80s like Kenny O'Brien or anything. So, well, first off, I want to give a huge shout out to Nick Shine. He's doing great Jets content creation out there in the universe. He's actually having Kenny O'Brien on at some point this month. I think it's at the end of the month. So shout out to Nick Shine for getting that interview. Me personally, while Bob's been working on all these wonderful Super Bowl III legends, I've been working on a variety of guys for the other parts of the week. And I will tell you, I am in negotiations with a player from the 2010s. I'm in negotiation with a player from the 2000s. I've spoken to several people in the 90s and 80s. So we will see. I am attempting to flex my, guest getting muscles to try to see. So I'm trying to work out on where certain people are located on the planet to see are 7:30 a.m.s possible, or do I have to do bonus shows at times that are more appropriate? So I'm doing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes. Hopefully we have one of those interviews next week during the week. I'm working with that individual to see if we could get our schedules aligned. So I'm working on some stuff. Bob's working on some stuff, and it's again just great content for the people.
Yeah, I mean this is as to borrow the phrase, this is Jets worldwide. You know, there's a lot of history on this team. I take it all the way back 60 years, but there's been a lot of history since. And Kenny O'Brien was one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
During his time, and it was a shame, that he got hurt and couldn't really do everything that he was obviously capable of doing, because when he was healthy, he was a heck of a quarterback.
I don't believe, though, like that may be a trademark issue. He says, yes, Bob, it is Jets Worldwide. I don't know if we're allowed to say Jets Worldwide in that fashion. We may get a lawsuit or some legal lawyers coming around using it in that loose of fashion. So, of course,
I used it exactly in that way, and it was deliberate. So,
okay, quite.
Although they can't take over today. That's for Sunday, I guess.
Yes, that's right. That's a different day of the week. Let's get one more question in from the audience, and then anything else you have, then we'll get to the phone lines here. Jets Worldwide, speaking of them, say no vet QB2 is promising and very scary at the same time. So AG also was asked about that yesterday. Great pointed question from Rich Samini. Rich asked AG, have you seen enough from all the guys not named Geno Smith that you don't need to add a guy, or that you've seen not enough where you would want to add a guy? And AG just did a bunch of dancing in the street and didn't answer the question. Outside saying, we love our guys. But, of course, that's what he's going to say. What else is he going to say?
We know everything we know. We don't need practice. We know what we know.
Well, clearly, that's also true.
I find it hard to believe they're not going to bring in a veteran. We may not be at all impressed with who they bring in, but I can't believe they're going to just drop it on Cade and put all their hopes and dreams on him. That would, from what we heard from the announcer at Clemson about a month or 6 weeks ago.
Yes.
Cade's potential is terrific, but Cade needs some time to acclimate, to the pros and to the different playbook and that sort of stuff. So I just, they don't want to tip their hand, and okay, fine. That's okay. We're not naive. We're not stupid. And we know that there may very well, look, if they start the preseason and they say, okay, Cade, you're the number 2, and you and Zappy are going to get all the playing time except for a couple of, plays, where we'll throw our starting quarterback in there, and they don't do anything. I mean, or they get intercepted a lot or something like that. They're going to be desperate to bring somebody in. There may be obviously some quarterbacks who get cut loose with other organizations, and that may open things up a little bit. But I find it hard to believe there isn't going to be somebody that they may bring in and even say, oh, he's going to be the number 3, because we're going to give Cade or Zappy the chance to be the number 2. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm one of the things I'm excited about when we get back from this break. Again, this show is not breaking. We're going to be live every single day as we always are, but break in terms of the Jets news that's going to be piling in. The thing I'm excited about is seeing Cade in the preseason. Like, that's an exciting thing as opposed to Bailey Zappi or Brady Cook. Like, to see Cade Klubnik get his first NFL opportunities out there is exciting. To see whatever he's going to bring to the table. But I agree with you. I think another quarterback's coming in. I wrote a piece about it this morning. Shout out to Omari Brown of JetsXFactor.com, a recent new addition. He was on the Jake Asman show, and one of the names he floated out there was Mason Rudolph of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Mason is not a free agent. He is under contract. But if you look at the Steelers quarterback room, they've got 4 quarterbacks right now. Aaron Rodgers, he's not going anywhere. Drew Aller was selected in the 3rd round. He's not going anywhere. Teams don't carry 4 quarterbacks, so now we're down to 1 spot and 2 guys. Will Howard of Ohio State, speaking of Jets Worldwide, they love that kid, so they'd love if the Jets added him, or Mason Rudolph. One of those 2 guys is going to shake free, either by trade or cut. So Mason makes more sense because he started games in this league.
And the Steelers have every reason in the world to be interested, in the
Sorsby, sure, which maybe shakes both of those guys free because you're not keeping 4, so maybe Will Howard and Mason Rudolph would be free.
We're going to hear when he has his pro day, June 22nd.
July.
We're going to hear that
July
day,
10th, I believe.
Yeah, and the days that follow. Is this 22nd when he has to declare?
So he had to declare for the supplemental draft by the 22nd. He already has applied for that, so now we're waiting to hear if he gets approved.
But I think he's also scheduled a pro day already, or
July 10th. Yes, pro day, July 10th.
We're going to hear, oh my God, this guy is great. I mean, you're going to hear kudos and that. And then from the organizations like Pittsburgh, probably like the Jets, those that are really serious about him, they will be, because why tip your hand?
No, of course. But
You know?
I think the Jets benefit either way. So if they land Sorsby, hopefully he's the franchise quarterback. If you don't and another team lands him, let's say the Steelers, just for your example you just said, Will Howard's going to shake free, Mason Rudolph's going to shake free, and these may not be the most exciting names in the world to the rest of the universe, but that'd be Mason would certainly be an upgrade at QB2. Will Howard is a young guy with upside who's a former national champion. He'd be an interesting kick of the tires if you just want to have a couple of young kids behind Geno. And then if Geno gets hurt, we at least have some level of excitement to see what these kids have.
Well, I think Rudolph would be more the cup of tea, but
I agree. I'd prefer Rudolph.
You want a veteran who can just come in and run an offense and not embarrass himself. They may not get a lot done, but not turn the ball over and just put your defense in bad situations.
I'd be happy with either, though. I will say that if Will Howard or Mason makes more sense
but we don't need. Part of the argument against Sorsby is, well, how many young quarterbacks can you have in camp when you made the point yesterday, that Cade is not going to get a lot of practice time if he's not the starting quarterback in practice.
Right, exactly, right.
So how many guys can you have standing there, just picking up a football and watching what's going on?
Learning through osmosis, I hope.
Geno, and it would be different if Geno wasn't there. If Geno was coming back for his third or fourth season. But Geno's coming back under a new system with a new offensive coordinator, coming back to the organization that he hasn't been at for 10 years. So, it's he's going to need a lot of practice time. And they have all these new wide receivers, and he has to get acclimated to the players, even to the veteran guys, to Brees and to our tight ends and offensive line, and everything else. So he's going to need a lot of practice time.
There's no question about it. So we'll see what happens, but we'll see if the Jets change their mind. But we'll, again, 6 weeks from now, I don't know if they're going to add anyone during the dead of the 6 weeks at quarterback, but maybe we'll see it the other way. And obviously, we'll continue to monitor the Brendan Sorsby situation. Bob, is there anything else you want to get to before the fans?
I don't think so. I've been scouting quarterbacks here in Jerusalem, and I haven't seen one that I think can make a difference.
That's too bad.
Let's go, Jets. Jets. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Good job.
It's too bad. But if you do see anyone, let us know, Bob. That would.
Well, we signed all our draft picks this week, so that's a step forward.
Hey, you know what? I've had enough of offset language nonsense, and oh boy, is this guy going to hold out and miss a couple of key practices? Reps are valuable. Get rid of the drama. Sign the guys. It's slotted contracts. I want to get paid on a Tuesday instead of a Thursday. Okay, fine. Who cares?
You know what? These agents are hired because they're there to make the case for you and say, hey, I got drafted in the third round, but I only was 3 spots away from being drafted in the second round, and so I should go with the second round. I mean, I read the other day and I went, okay, it's an argument. I don't know how valid it is, but it's an argument. And, are you really going to quibble, with the billions of dollars that are in the cash register of every team in the league? Are you really going to argue about $50,000 here or there? They do, but
clearly, right.
To me, it's kind of penny wise, pound foolish.
Quite. Before we go to the phone lines, good question here from Blue Bee. Says, when is the drawing for the supplemental draft? I believe that's not public information. And the drawing of, again, as we've explained it in the past, there are 3 categories of teams. Teams with 6 wins or fewer, teams that have at least 7 wins but didn't make the playoffs, and then playoff teams. 3 separate categories. And then depending on where you are in that group, where you sit in that group is randomized. I don't believe, if Sorsby gets approved for the supplemental draft is, I'm making this up. It's June 27th. It's going to be a month from that, but just for the random example, I don't think we're going to know heading into that draft, oh, wow, are the Jets in front of the Cardinals or this? I think that's going to be all blind.
What you're really saying is if the Rams say, okay, we'll do a first-round pick, it doesn't matter, because they're in the third group. And
unless that's the highest bid.
They can't leapfrog the other 2 groups ahead of them.
if the Rams submit a first-round pick and everyone else submits a second-round pick or worse, Rams win Brendan Sorsby in that random example.
Really?
Yes. So yes.
So what's the point? What's the point of having the three different?
It's for the same bid. So if everyone bids a second-round pick, that's where the grouping comes into play. If you just straight out outbid the team, it's blind, so you don't know what other people are bidding. So that's the dance that we're going to do here. That's why. Is a team willing to give up a first-round pick? From all the reporting I've heard, I've been trying to read and consume as much as possible. The highest people believe is that a team will spend a second-round pick on Sorsby. And then we get into the territory. Did the Jets bid it? Did the Cardinals bid it? Who is in front of who? That's the stuff that Luby's asking about, which I believe will not be public information. I believe we're all going to be surprised. The supplemental draft's about to happen. We're waiting on the edge of our seat for a Twitter update. And oh my God, the Jets want him. Or oh, the Cardinals want him. I think that's how we're going to find out. I don't believe
what might happen during this lull and then training camp.
All right.
Before the supplemental draft.
Yes.
If a team really wants him, they may make a trade for a draft pick.
What do you mean?
So they've got the draft pick that they can dedicate towards that. And that would be highly unusual, obviously, for this time of the year. You don't see trades made in general, but you don't see trades made, of a major class. So that would not shock me. So what I'm saying, for instance, is that Pittsburgh might trade one of their. I think they've got an extra defensive lineman, a defensive end.
Okay.
That supposedly the Jets are interested in. They might say, hey, we'll trade you this guy for your second round pick. And the idea would be the Steelers would then have that extra second round pick that they could dedicate towards trying to get Sorsby.
That is possible. Also, here's a quick rule on that for those who don't know. If you are missing a pick in a round, you can't bid that pick. So, for instance, a couple years ago, right, Jets traded for Hassan Reddick. Thankfully, that nightmare is over. But they didn't have a third-round pick this year. So let's say in this bizarre world, the Sorsby thing happened before that third-round pick was lost and then not used. You wouldn't have been able to bid a third because the Jets didn't have a third. So you can only bid a round in which you have it for the following draft, which is 2027. So the drawing, I don't believe, will be public information.
We got any extra 5, 6s, or 7s in the next draft?
We have extra 1s. We may have extra mid-round picks. I don't have the future picks ahead of me. So, yes. And let me explain this because this is not a new rule change. It's a new awareness for people. If you have multiple picks in multiple rounds, you could tell the NFL which one you're bidding. So let's use the 3 first-round picks because the Jets have 3 of them. If the Jets bid a first-round pick, they could say, we're bidding ours. We're bidding the Colts. We're bidding the Cowboys, Packers. You can designate the pick if you have multiple in a round of which one you're submitting. And that would be important because, again, 3 categories of where those picks represent. So,
and this is why we all watch Boy Green every day, because you just learned something that we didn't already understand. Even I just didn't understand that clearly as I thought I did.
I try to bring that to the table. We'll get back into the supplemental draft here in a second. Yeah. Mark Cicchetti says, are you wearing sneakers to the AC party? I am. I don't know what other. I'm not wearing Crocs. I can tell you that for free. So, yes, I will be wearing sneakers. And if I have some urge to jump in the pool, I will take the sneakers off, jump in the pool, dry off, and then put the sneakers back on. That's when I do it. Closing date for the supplemental draft. I'm not sure I understand what that question is, but June 22nd is.
We don't know when the supplemental draft is.
We do not.
I'm sure there is a due date when you have to have your. And remember what Paul has pointed out earlier is that this is all on the QT. Yes. Nobody is announcing, we're going to go dedicate a first round pick to try to get it. This is all on the QT.
100%.
The teams 100%. Don't know themselves who they're competing against.
They don't.
And what the top bids are. So.
Yeah, which is interesting. So, again, by June 22nd, everyone, Sorsby and anyone else in the universe that wants to apply for the supplemental draft has to do so in the next 3 days. If they don't, they're out. They're not in it. And then when you apply, you have to be approved. The NFL has to go like, okay, that makes sense. You're in. At this point in time, to answer EC's question, the only player that would be in is Sorsby. So it'd be a 1-horse race, and that'd be the thing we're watching. We'll see. Sometimes when the supplemental draft is approved, like, oh, Sorsby's in, a few people from the woodwork will crawl out and say, all right, I'll enter the supplemental draft, and we'll see what happens. I do believe, Mark Cicchetti, to your point, Arizona would be in that conversation. But also keep in mind, they took Carson Beck with the first pick of the 3rd round. Yeah, that's not some throwaway.
Speculation that may dissuade them from trying to get Sorsby.
which would make sense. So again, I think Arizona will be in the conversation, but how high, of course, will be the question that we're all considering out there in the
They may just take a whiff and go, hey, we'll take a fifth. We'll give a fifth if we can get him.
Right, and that's what I heard another beat reporter say.
There will be teams that will be very serious about trying to get him, and there'll be others that will take a flyer and say, hey, if we get him, what have we got to lose if we think the guy is a professional football player?
Exactly. So, like, let's say, because again, it's a blind bid. What if you're the Jets and you say, you know what, for giggles, let's just throw a fifth. Now, if everyone's serious, we have no chance of getting him. But what if everyone's playing a cat and mouse game and trying to get him for cheaper? Maybe we get him by accident on a cheap price because no one bid higher than a fifth, or we're the highest of the fifths that gets bid. So all kinds of things can happen. I understand it's a complicated process.
Hi, come on in, Maria. And we have the middle child coming in.
So this is
Maria here.
So this B3.
This is the middle child, number 3.
So B3. Okay. Hello. Who is this?
Maria is 9.
I'm turning 10.
You're turning 10. Okay, so sit down. You already met Yali before. This is
wow.
Maria.
Okay. What number is this now on my bingo card?
He is B3.
Okay, so we have B3, but we have 2 kids here.
Yep. Well, this is Yali. You met Yali before.
Oh, Yali. Okay, and who's
Yali?
this?
Yali was B4.
Okay,
and
now we have.
Alicia.
Okay, now we have
B3. This is Maria. She's the middle child.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
You can say.
Oh, you got glasses just like me. All right, you have great taste.
His name is Paul. He's a friend of mine. He's in New York.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
So we're talking to a guy from New York. He invites me on his show here on the internet. Every Friday I go on, and usually I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Getting glasses.
You do?
You need glasses
at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I told him 2 weeks ago, I can't wait to get to Israel because I can come on the show. It'll be 2:30 in the afternoon instead of 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. He needs his beauty sleep. Oh, Grandpa over there. You know what I mean?
That's me. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Papa, did I show my nails?
Are you showing your fingernails? Okay.
Oh yeah, let me go full screen. You can show your fingernails. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Put them up high.
There you go. Pow. Oh yeah, cool. What were those? Blue, maybe? Green?
What color is that?
Let me see. It's hard
like
to
blue.
see. Black, maybe?
She's got markers.
Wow. Okay, that's close. Now I can see.
Different
Oh,
colors.
I see. Okay, nice. I don't have. I don't have
Paul
any. Just normal
Paul
color.
has 2 children.
Yes, I do.
He has 1.5-year-old?
Yep, that's right, and a 4-year-old.
Little boy and a 4-year-old girl.
That's right.
Oh, so that girl and
What?
Alicia and that girl and Alicia can get married.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Zariah, Luna, and
So you
Paula.
remember, Moria is the only one here in Israel who, when I watch the Jets, she'll sit down with me and watch the Jets and say,
"You're a Jets fan?"
Yeah, she's a Jets fan.
Isn't that great?
Right? When you watch, didn't you watch games with me when I watched the Jets? Yeah,
sure do. Oh yeah, that's a spirit. Great taste, Jets. They'll treat you right for the rest of your life. There you go. This will be amazing. All right,
the Jets don't play until September. Otherwise, I could watch while I'm here.
Yeah, it's true. It's a few months away. Well, all right, kiddos, you guys hang on tight, and we've got more coming up.
Let's get ready for calls.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Jets
Welcome back to Boy Green Daily, everybody. I am Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show also available wherever you get your podcast. I see that we've got a few comments here. First off, Dave says, Paul, bring your kids out. What do you think? It's a clap-on situation? Children, show up.
Children.
They're like sleeping.
This is like the sound of music. Children, come in here.
Yeah, exactly. They're sleeping. I don't know. Bob's in Israel. It's like 2 PM, so like they've been awake for a while. So Dave, I don't have that power. Once I do, I'll let you know, children, and then they just appear. I will let you know whenever.
I'm glad to say Dave said that. I thought I was just kind of, intruding, on
it's family.
But I have no. Literally, I'm upstairs on the 3rd floor, and I have no control of who comes up here, when they come up here, when they open the door. I'm not going to lock the door. That would be not.
Yeah, that'd be rude. And they're like, Grandpa. And let me just tell you, by the way, if you block the door, which I've attempted to do for a child, and I would assume I'm a child. Try to go in a room. Oh, geez. Oh no. Access is not granted. I guess I'm going to go downstairs. No, they start banging on the door. Hey, what's going on? Let me in here. And I'm like, yeah. So that happens every single time. I'm hearing the door getting kicked down when that happens.
So thank you, Dave Briga.
But before we get to any other questions or comments, while that video is playing, that's what people are seeing. But I can see you behind the scenes, Bob. And were you about to play a number? Were you about to play an instrument?
I can't play this.
All right. We'll put you full screen. Here we go.
I don't even know how to hold it properly, but this is sitting here in this room.
Okay, go ahead.
This is how well I can play.
All right. What is that instrument?
Moria, who is the young lady that you just met, number 3, yes. She plays the guitar, and I have been telling her she needs to learn how to play Go, 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 Go Jets.
It's a straight up guitar. It looked like it had a weird.
It's not a real good one. In fact, it looks like it's broken. But
I thought that was by design. I didn't know it was broken. I thought that was a different, an Israel instrument of some kind.
I think that this guitar is more in the old. Remember El Caban in the cartoons? Caban.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. That's what it was used for.
All right. Well. There you go. Well, that was interesting.
I have to watch everything I do when you're here.
I always have a careful eye. Barbara, by the way, who we'll see at our tailgate again for the second straight year, her and her husband, she says, can we get someone like Vinny Testaverde to talk about the Monday Night Miracle? That would be amazing. So I don't have any direct connections to Vinny, but I will do everything in my power. Vinny would be an amazing get. I'd love to bring up all kinds of things from his career, including the Monday Night Miracle. That would be amazing.
I reconnect my electric.
No, that's okay. Yeah, you do what you got to do over there, Bob. That's great. But Barbara, I would absolutely love someone like Vinny on the show. We've had Jericho on the show several times. I can have him back on the show. We're good friends, which is a crazy thing to say. So
I may be going a little too far, but I think that in bringing on some of these Super Bowl Jet players, that may be a very nice inducement to bring in other players.
Yeah, hopefully so. That'd be great.
Yeah, I think I'm serious that. When they say, "Oh yeah, well, you had Mark Smolinski, you had Earl Christie, you had Randy especially Randy Rasmussen, who transcends several eras, in the Jets' history and is pretty well known.
Yeah,
that it might help convince some of these guys who might have doubts. What is this show? Whatever. Well, hey, they had Super Bowl Jet players on it. That's how well regarded it is. So
I've had current players on, so Tyler Conklins and George Fantz, and I've had past Jet players on like Jericho Cotchery and the like. So hopefully the long list of like big time names like Mike Greenbergs and Bob Lederers, of course, and former Jets players, current Jets players. Hopefully that's enough to convince a few people. So we're working on that behind the scenes. Keep the suggestions coming. I will take all your guys' suggestions for players you want to see on the show, and I will do everything that I can to bring them on the show. Bob, why don't you send us off to the phone lines here?
Well, it's the one and it's the only. Here's Hep.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Excellent. And I love that we keep going to different rooms of your house, Hep. It's great to get this tour and see different parts. I appreciate that.
I have a house guest over. My sister-in-law had fell and she had her hip broken.
Oh, geez.
So So it's a whole big thing. So we're working it out and stuff, but it's okay. So as far as the grandkids go, there's a rule: grandpas never lock the door on their grandkids. That's just how it is. That's just the rule. You'll know, Paul, someday.
Yeah.
So the thing about the Jets just canceling the last practice, I would have done a little something different. I would have had them all meet in the meeting room, pass out the popcorn, and then I would have had my guys make highlights of all the best players in the NFL. And then like Lawrence Taylor hitting somebody or something. You know the guys would be like, oh, they don't be freaking out. Like, and then it's like, jazz them up. Shots of Ronnie Lott laying someone out. You know all these things. And then, of course, you get Joe in there, and then, the place would freak out.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
I would have been more of a motovational. Just
it's a great idea. That's loose, a light activity.
You had our coach there, our former head coach there, Rex, this week. Could have had Rex come in and just talk to the guys as a group.
Well, I don't know if we're going to see that on the episode tonight. I don't know if I saw, because there's one shot at the end of episode 2, they teased episode 3, and it looked like they had the Rex Ryan video in there, but I wasn't sure. There was a huddle and a guy with white hair, and I'm like, is that Rex? And I screenshot it and tried to zoom in. But I will tell you from the photos, the Jets released photos from every practice, and the final 5 or 6 photos of whatever practice, that must have been Tuesday, that Rex Ryan was there, it appeared that he was breaking down the team and giving a motivational speech of some kind at the end of practice. Yeah. So I assume Flight 26 is where that speech is going to come out. So I'm excited to see whatever that is.
The picture looked to me also that Rex had put on some weight again.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, Fat Rex was our best Rex. So, hey, put on the pounds, Tubby. That'd be great.
Now, before I go, I just want to say something. Let's go get some snacks.
Oh, wait. Which, by the way, let's
make sure we play like the New York Jets and not some slap team. That's what I want to see tomorrow. Do we understand what the I want to see tomorrow? Let's go to eat a damn snack.
You gotta love Rex with that, right?
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Hep. Yeah, Rex is Rex. So we'll have that video forever. And just how serious he was. And then, you see the video trails on, and you see, David Harris getting up, LaDainian Tomlinson. That's what a shot.
What year was that? Was that in the midst of the 2 years? Was that between?
So it was year 2. So 2009 happens. They go to the AFC Championship game.
Okay.
I believe that was the 2010 year after the AFC Championship game, I do believe.
What a terrific, particularly the second year, because Rex mistakenly thought they were eliminated.
Oh yes, it was after the Falcons game. We lost to the Atlanta Falcons at MetLife Stadium.
The second year, we were a
much better. We won 11 games.
We were a dominant team.
Yes. Year 1 was surprising, that they were in the mix and they needed all the breaks. Remember, Peyton Manning, the Colts were set to go undefeated, and then they benched their players in the second half. That helps the Jets. The Jets played the Bengals in that final regular season game, and they blow the barn doors off them, which punches their ticket to the playoffs to play the Bengals again in their territories. Yeah, 2009, super surprising. Whoa. Who is this team? 2010 was totally different. They won 11 games. They were dominant in a lot of different areas, and people expected things. And I believe, again, that was also the Hard Knocks year. And they ended up
I was in Israel. My daughter got married in December, or I guess it must have just maybe January of that year. It was January.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my 2 boys got up at 3:00 in the morning here in Israel to watch them play the Colts and beat the Colts just before they had to play the Steelers, for the championship game. So I remember that team especially well, and the big plays, that Sanchez made on offense at the end of the game both to get him in the field goal range and then to help kill the clock.
Yeah, phenomenal. Hey, here is Philly Noodles here with a member super chat shout out. He's been a member for almost 2 years. Congratulations.
Wow.
He believes that Cooper Rush, Andy Dalton, and Joshua Dobbs are better than all of the Pittsburgh backup quarterbacks in his opinion. So Cooper Rush is a free agent. Andy Dalton could shake free for the Philadelphia Eagles because they still have Jalen Hurts, Tanner McKee, Cole Payton, and then a fourth in Dalton. So Dalton could shake free. That could make sense. Joshua Dobbs, I can't remember if he's a free agent or if he's hanging out somewhere. Let me see Josh Dobbs real quick. Is he on any team right now? He is not. He is a straight-up free agent, according to the internet. So you have him there. And then, yeah, I don't know if I'd agree with that, but hell, Cooper Rush is probably the best free agent guy that's out there. Dalton would make sense. He has connection to Frank Reich. Joshua Dobbs is a rocket scientist. That can't hurt. So we'll see if they had any of these guys. We'll see. Sure, we'll hear from Philly Noodles here in a little bit.
It would be ironic if the Eagles cut their highly acclaimed backup quarterback because they drafted somebody who they think very highly
Cole
of.
Payton in the 5th round. That's right. Yeah. I'd be surprised if they cut Tanner McKee. That would stun me if they just randomly cut him.
Yeah.
But the Jets will be waiting in line.
Might be one of the last cuts.
Could be. Know. All right, let's go back to the phone lines.
I don't think they're not going to hold 4 guys.
They'll trade one of them, I think. Yeah. Which could happen. Let's go to the phone lines. Up next, Mr. Legendary Famous Fulton.
Hello, Paul. How are you this morning?
I'm good. You said you have a huge announcement.
Yeah, I got to do it really quick.
Okay.
I am going to be recording my new original song for the America 250th birthday.
Nice.
And it'll be next Friday on June 26th.
Great.
With my music therapy. And hopefully I'll get it on platforms for Spotify.
Okay, excellent. Can you give us a taste?
I sure will.
Okay.
Let's talk about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The year 1776. Talk about independence. We formed the 10 colonies from Great Britain to be free and together and lead.
Beautiful. Let's go. A warm round of applause. All right, let us know when that's posted online, buddy, and good luck.
I sure will. Thanks, guys. See you, Paul.
Good luck with that next Friday.
All right, there you go. That is a very catchy song. So shout out to Mr. Famous Fulton here on the program. All right, we got a super chat in here before we go to the phone lines. It is Chef Kevin Gilbert, a.k.a. Fastest Food Reviews.
Wow.
Philly Noodles wants Danny Dimes as our franchise quarterback. He has brought that up several times. And at the restaurant takeover last year, which, again, we'll have an announcement on that tomorrow, and we do have a sign-up sheet in the YouTube description down below. So if you guys do want to come to a restaurant takeover, sign up down below with you and everybody else that's coming. He gave Chef Kevin Gilbert a picture of Daniel Jones in a Jets jersey, and he gave it to him as a gift in a framed picture. Which was a beautiful gesture. So, yeah, we'll see. He seems pretty well inclined in Indianapolis with a brand new contract that made him the highest paid quarterback over a 2-year span in NFL history. Good luck with that. But, yeah, big ups. You a big Daniel Jones guy there, Bob Lederer?
No.
Excellent.
I saw enough of him with the Giants.
Haven't we all?
Obviously, he was no world beater in Minneapolis. Had a good half season last year.
7-1, yes, yeah.
They gave him the big bucks.
They sure did.
Funny how when you give guys the big bucks, it doesn't always work out as well as you hoped it would. And they've given him a lot of guaranteed money for those 2 years. So if the Jets are going to get him, they're not going to get him anytime soon. It'll be at least a couple of years, and we will probably have gone on our way to whoever we want as our franchise quarterback.
Very possible. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. We have Chef Extraordinaire, Easy.
Hey.
Hello, Easy.
Are we making a Western? What's going on over there?
No, I'm not doing anything. I think I'm just going to go out and get something. I was supposed to work today, but it rained, so we got rained out. It's all right. So good. I was tired. I'm looking forward to my day off.
Nice. Woo. There you go, baby.
So, Bob, what's it like Sabbath in Israel? Have you gone to the wall?
I haven't been there yet on this trip, but I make it a point to go on every visit. Yeah.
Does it seem a little
next week? We're about 15 miles outside of Jerusalem, so we got to take a bus into town, and and we can pretty much walk from there. But yeah, it's a very moving experience.
So I was just going to say, is it different being there in the Holy Land?
Well, it is, but I tell people, regardless of your religion, or if you're not religious at all, the history here, in the United States, we're talking about 250 years.
Yeah, it's like 2,500, 3,000 years over there.
Yeah, or more.
Yeah,
there's enough historic proof that there were Jews living here 4,000 or 5,000 years ago.
Yeah, what's the Hebrew New Year? What year would it be?
Boy, it's 57.
Yeah, you're talking almost 6,000 years of history.
57, 80 something.
You're talking, 5,700 years of history compared to 250. This is just a spit in the ocean.
I've told this story to friends. I haven't really told it publicly here, but about 10 or 12 years ago, I was here with my family. Here for my daughter's wedding. And I was in what they call the Old City, which is where the Wailing Wall and the wall
the
that
temple,
is
right?
Yeah, it exists. But that part of Jerusalem is really divided into quarters. So there's a Jewish quarter where we were. There's a Muslim quarter, which is adjacent. And there's a Christian quarter.
A what?
A Christian quarter.
Well, that's only 3 pieces.
Well,
What's
okay,
the fourth religion?
I forget what the fourth one is, but for the sake of the story,
right.
I took my son, who is Bobby Jr., and I said to him, "Listen, don't tell Mom about this, but I want to take you to the Christian quarter." And he said, "Why?" And I said, "I want you to see something." And I took him there, and I said, "This is where Jesus was crucified. This is where Jesus was buried, and where the body, obviously, Christians believe, was
resurrected." And
I said, "Look, I'm bringing you here not because for a religious reason, because Jews don't believe that Jesus was the Messiah. Christians do." I said, "But the impact that Jesus has and has had on the history of the world is undeniable, and it's gigantic. And I wanted you to see where all of this took place, because from a historical perspective, it's awesome." And I'm sure that members of my religious family would look at me and say, "What's wrong with you?" But that's how I feel, and that's why, whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Jew, whether you're a Christian, or whatever, coming to Israel is a step back thousands of years. That it has an amazing impact. In fact, I don't know if you were listening yesterday, EZ, but at the end of my conversation with Paul, I pointed out that across the street from where we are right now is Bethlehem. We're in a town called Efrat, but Bethlehem is across the street, about 400 or 500 yards down, because we are in an elevated area about half a mile up from the rest of the country. And, we don't go into Bethlehem. In fact, Israelis are not allowed to go into Bethlehem.
Right.
Visitors can, but, I wouldn't for safety reasons. But anyway, that's what you're talking about here. You have all these different religions all interacting with each other. And for the most part, interacting, in a very comfortable way. So,
well, it's not the people, it's the governments. It's the governments that mess things up. The people,
leadership. It's the leadership, and
exactly. That's what I meant. The leadership of the governments that mess things up. Like, I love my country. I'm an American through and through. I love my country. Not technically thrilled with the government these days, but I'm an American through and through. And the one thing that pisses me off is people thinking that just because I don't like the current structure of our government these days doesn't mean that I'm a traitor. It doesn't mean that I'm a dissident. It just means that I believe in a different way of doing things that to help my country. I love my country. I think we have the best country in the world when it is properly maintained. Just like a car. You could have a Rolls Royce. You don't maintain it properly, it's a pile of shit. But you could have a Hyundai that you do the oil changes every 3,500 miles and change the plugs and all this. And that Hyundai, I'm talking one from the 80s. And one of those cars will still be running if you take care of it, if you do the right thing. So it's everything is relative. But anyway, I wanted to get back to a little bit of football.
Sure,
My
please.
favorite, besides Joe, because let's face it, you're a Jet fan. Joe was your favorite quarterback.
Of course.
And I love Joe, but I love me some Kenny O.
Of course.
I have an autographed Kenny O jersey.
Mhm.
I love Ken O'Brien. I thought that he was one of the best picks that we ever had. I don't think Marino would have been able to survive those first 3 years of getting pounded like Kenny did. Kenny was a much bigger guy. But, God, he was so good. He made 2 Pro Bowls. I mean, what do you want? Everyone bitches, oh, you should have taken this guy. Yeah, okay, fine. But then again, you think of that 83 draft class. All the great quarterbacks.
Elway, Marino, Kenny O. Yeah.
Yeah, just fucking amazing. And remember, I've talked in the past about how sometimes it takes quarterbacks a while, a good long while, to really figure out how to be an NFL professional player at quarterback. And one of my greatest examples that I've given over the years is Jim Plunkett.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his first 5 to 10 years, he sucked. But he won 2 Super Bowls with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Well, talk about a guy who got physically beaten up.
Oh, yeah, he got the
Because he did with the Patriots.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, God. I mean, well, that's part of the reason why they have all these rules protecting quarterbacks these days. But, I mean, I know that Tom Brady is the GOAT. Of course, back when we were young, GOAT was bad. You were either the hero or the GOAT.
Right.
You didn't
Now
want
it's
to
a
be the
different
GOAT.
word. Yeah.
Now it means greatest of all time. But I don't think that Brady would have survived playing in the 70s, going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers with the steel curtain, with, L.C. Greenwood and Mean Joe Green and those guys. And, God, could you imagine if who was the quarterback they had with the missing teeth? The guy from Buzzard Breath, Wyoming. Jack Lambert. Could you imagine Jack Lambert tackles Tom Brady and he looks at the ref looking for a flag? Jack Lambert would have stepped on his head. This is not taking away from Brady. I'm just saying he would not have been playing 25 years in the NFL if he played back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
No way. That was a different era. I mean, Joe Namath played with basically 2 fractured legs. I mean, he was what the players back then had to go through, and the pay that they got to go through the pain was unprecedented. These players now, they should be in homage and bow down and pray to those guys because they got everything now because of them.
When you watch the old NFL films from the 60s with the marching music and whatever, you see the hits, that happened then. You don't see that today.
The Jets-Dolphins game where they hit the guy in the end zone and he's spinning sideways like this. Remember that play?
The quarterbacks, watch a reel.
Joe Klecko highlights.
Watch a reel of Dick Butkus in action.
Oh my God. Ronnie Lott. Yeah. I mean, these guys would have been thrown out of every game now. They were so. These guys were brutal. Lester Hayes, he was a defensive player for the Raiders back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in 1984, I moved to California with my friend, and we were out there, and we went to an USFL game out in the old Oakland Alameda Stadium. We saw the Oakland Invaders. Remember that? They used to have the helmets with the fifth with the lightning bolt through it.
Yep.
You know who was sitting one row behind us? Lester Hayes with his big old Super Bowl ring on. And he was proud to show it. That was something. That was pretty cool.
Hey, Easy, thanks for your question about Israel. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, well I know you take your Judaism more seriously than I do, but you know I still want the the Holy Land to be at peace. I just hope one day it will be. You know,
we can only hope.
They've been battling for and about it for centuries. So it's not gonna get solved very.
There's no quick fix.
Yeah.
Right.
Have a great weekend, Easy.
Thanks, Easy.
You too. Good Yontif.
There you go. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yep.
Okay, there we go. Blessed be He. Next, Philly Noodles.
Where's the board?
Wait, where is he? And he's on mute too. Oh boy.
There's the man.
Oh wait, here we go. Here we go.
All
right, let me get my reading glasses out. Hey, yeah, okay, this will work. All right, Professor. Actually, can you turn your phone sideways there, Professor Philly Doodles? So
that's
screen.
Okay, but now you won't be able to read.
Actually, never mind. That didn't work. Bring it back. The other way. All right, here we go.
That is a very, very notable point of NFL history.
Here we go. All right, Professor Philly Noodles. All right, random sports fact Friday, and cheers to you. Shabbat Shalom. On this day in 1943, the Eagles and Steelers merged, dissolved on December 5th, 1945. Hindsight is 50-50. Rookie contracts. Ruckert, 4-year. There's a glare from whatever light is behind you. So let's see. I don't know if you can move the board. $5 million. Third.
Rookie contracts.
Oh yeah, his selection right. He was 101st overall pick. I remember that. Daryl. Oh, I see what he's saying. Like how things have changed. So Daryl Jackson Jr. gets a 4-year deal for $5.65 million, 4th round pick. He was 103rd overall selection. You see Jeremy Ruckert, 4-year deal, $5 million. 3rd round selection, 101. So basically Daryl Jackson getting drafted later, and you see that money difference. That's interesting. Oh, wow. Okay. There you go. Philly Noodles. Okay. A lot of interesting fun facts there. Do you remember what the I did it for trivia, I remember. Do you remember what that merge team was called?
The Seagulls.
Is it the
Seagulls? Called the
Seagulls? I don't know if that's true.
The Seagulls.
Eagles, Steelers. Combined team.
I don't think they called them the Pennsylvania anything. I think they just called them the Steagles. But they were
the Steagles. Steagles, yes. Steagles. They temporarily merged for the 1943 season because both franchises had severe roster shortages due to players leaving for military service in World War II. The combined team was called the Steagles. They combined the name of the Steelers and the Eagles. Fascinating. Oh, that's a cool fun fact.
Neither team was very good before they merged, and neither team was very good when they merged.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, it's funny because we keep bringing up the backup quarterbacks in the Steelers, and I'm like, well, what about Dalton? So the connection today is kind of funny, right? So
let's get a Steagle.
Let's get a Steagle. There it is. Let's get a Steagle.
Like that, yeah.
So, good morning to both of you.
Yeah, great to see you, pal. Yeah.
Yes. So I only bring up that Ruckert thing because you remember what was it earlier this year or last year? Everyone's complaining about the Ruckert deal. Oh my God, he's overpaid.
Yeah.
Well, Daryl Jackson is grossly overpaid already. At some point, we're going to learn that. And if he's halfway decent or even gets a few good reps, what are we saying? He's going to get a 2-year, $10 million contract.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
You know?
But Ruckert's a tight end, and he's what?
Positional value, sure.
Yeah, no, that's to me
a different position, and you get paid. Correct. You get paid differently. You know, although what I think the point that I thought you were immediately trying to make was inflation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's also a position that you play.
Yep.
Although also, like, regardless of this is what we saw with Jeremiah Love this year. Whether you're a quarterback or a punter, you get the same contract at 1st overall, regardless of your position, which again skews the numbers. So Jeremiah Love happens to be the 3rd overall pick to the Cardinals, and then all of a sudden, 100%, he just so happens to benefit and becomes the highest paid running back in terms of that guaranteed number in history. So
so if somebody took a kicker with the 3rd pick.
They would get that $50 million deal. It is not commensurate to position. So,
which is the reason why nobody's going to take anybody.
that's normally why teams wouldn't take a running back, is because of that, how the rookie wage scale works. And back in the day, you negotiated, so it was much worth. Jamarcus Russell got a $60 million deal that he got to negotiate. Matt Ryan got a $72 million deal. Sam Bradford got like a $75 million deal. Like, the numbers just kept crazy. And the teams went, okay, we got to stop this immediately. And it went to rookie wage scale. So, yeah, it does not matter the position. Yeah.
So, first, shout out Chef Kev. Love you, dude. Always talking that good smack. That good
Philly, do you normally watch the shows on Saturdays?
When I can, like this Saturday, I'll be up pretty early. So, but I have to get my son ready. We got basketball.
Okay, so we'll see if it happens. But regardless, at some point tomorrow, there's going to be an announcement that involves you. So just either watch a show or try to skim through it and find out wherever it is later. Again, this will be tomorrow live on the show. We'll have an announcement that involves you.
Okay.
Hey, Philly, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This is about basketball.
Oh, nice.
I grew up in New York, and I grew up a Mets fan, a Jets fan, a Knicks fan, a Rangers fan, whatever. And so when they win, it's exciting and that. But the thing that has struck me this week, now that I live in Chicago, and I'm still a Knicks fan, a big Knicks fan, is how excessive the media is about the Knicks winning the championship. I mean, outside of New York, it can't be as interesting to the rest of the country as it is in New York City. Am I wrong? Is the media overdoing it?
I don't think so, because you got to realize how far New Yorkers will go in the country when they move. So Florida is a hotbed for New Yorkers, right? Like half of Florida is probably all New Yorker. So it's crazy. My boy was in Tampa going to several bars that were doing coverage. So Florida is a hotbed. Some of Pennsylvania is a hotbed, obviously, right? Carolinas is somewhat of a hotbed as well, because the Hornets ain't doing much of anything. It's weird. I think the coverage is good because, when New York is a hot topic of sports, the media filters through New York, right? I mean, a lot of headquarters of studios are in New York. So I think it's just, you need it, you know what I mean, every now and then. And for New York, for basketball, it being the Mecca, that's why the coverage is going to be as stellar as it's going to be. Like if San Antonio would have won, it would have been like, oh, yeah, they did it again. Oh, years later, but they did it again. And then, the coverage would have been blasted in France as like a big thing, right? But to me, no, it's New York, it is what it is. We're always going to, if we win something, it's going to be something. Listen, the Jets don't win and our coverage is outstanding, right? When they want to pick on us, they get mics in everyone's face, right? We're everywhere. We're discussed everywhere.
But I don't buy that any publicity, including bad publicity, is good publicity. I don't buy that at all.
I don't know, man. I think it is what it is. And if we're listen, like Jalen Brunson said, whoever said anything, I'm not even going to address it. Just know that I took care of business, right?
Yeah. So I've been amazed that nobody during all the interviews that they've had the players this week, nobody asked them, well, what do you think about what Wemby got away with in that playoff?
And
the most ridiculous thing to me is the NBA making these ridiculous announcements. Now that the playoff series is over, we're going to take a closer look at what Wemby did when he punched Brunson in the jaw and knocked him to the ground. Now, what's the purpose of that?
Yeah.
Why would you?
You're
taking the technical foul away from Mitch Robinson. I mean, except for the money that's involved.
Yeah,
why would you bother doing that? I mean, to me,
accountability.
If you wanted to make an announcement, I would say something to the effect of, and maybe this is what they were saying. We're taking a close look because we really were not happy with the way the referees handled those situations, and we'd like to clarify to make it clear to them that this sort of stuff shouldn't happen again. But they didn't say it that way.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to cover their ass. Adam Silver wants to look a certain way. I think David Stern was projected a certain type of person, and I think Adam Silver's had a better light in the media and with fans. He's just really pulling a real Slytherin out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to anybody who's known the Harry Potters. You know what I mean? Like he's a slimy little guy. That's what he's turning out to be.
Hey,
allowing that to happen.
So Bob asked you a basketball question. I'll ask you a non-football related question. Have either of you heard the Josina Anderson story?
I know she's gone like completely south in her career. Not her fault. Like whatever is occurring,
All right.
she's being shadow banned.
This actually has nothing to do with that. But let's go to it. This is Josina Anderson. She posted something that happened to her when she ordered some Uber Eats to her house. She said, I just had a delivery woman come to my home, put the food by my door, then walk to the side of my house, take off her jeans, pull down her underwear, and take a full butterbean piss in the yard in the full wide open. Your support, she tagged the Uber Eats people, just responded to my help chat saying there's nothing you guys can do about this in the guidelines to help me. Ask me how I know she did that, and you'll see if you want to rethink that. I'll be on standby. What would you do if someone delivered your food and took a quote full butterbean piss in your yard?
I mean,
really?
First, let's just start off with this. You're wild. You know what I mean? You're wild. You might belong in an institution, but did you do it on my food? Because if you didn't,
no, it doesn't sound like it was on the food. It sounds like it was a different location. Food dropped off side of the house. Although with today's technology, I assume everyone has cameras and stuff. So I don't know if I would feel comfortable taking a quote full butterbean piss.
Free meal. That's a free meal.
That's got to be more than a free meal, right?
Yeah, it is whatever I'm going to get out of it. That's right. Okay, I mean, my food's not, you know what I mean? That's a psychopath. I don't want them back to my house. I might just take a drive.
God knows what that person might have done with your food before she delivered it.
Correct.
That's a good point. Yeah, that also makes you feel questionable. Now, from what I understand, I don't order Uber food or any of this, whatever it's called. I don't do a lot of this often, but the food's supposed to be sealed. There's like all these sealed labels and stickers on it to ensure freshness and all that other jazz. If it's at all messed around with, that's supposed to be a massive red flag. Yeah.
It's nothing to do about this in the guidelines. I have customers call me all the time for my job as a technical support representative, and we have this one product in general that people complain a lot about. And the tough part is a guideline where you have to be in specific parameters of the product. Who will be like, or are you telling me it just doesn't work if I don't do that? And I'm like, technically speaking, no, it doesn't. So when there's a sliver for a business to have, they're going to take that angle and run with it. And that's just a matter of fact. If you give this much hope to a business to not be at fault, they're going to take it. Bob, you know that. I mean, PG, you know that. So 100%. It's sad. It's terrible. Yeah. But I would say, to conclude this, I would say, anybody over a Steelers backup quarterback at this moment in time would be a lot better. I mean, Cade Klubnik might be better. You know what I mean? Even
in a perfect world, Cade is the guy because, and who knows if he is. Again, Bob has brought up what Don Munson, the voice of the Clemson Tigers, told us a while ago, that he thinks Cade needs time. Now, he could be wrong, right? Cade could just be better than people. Like we were just talking about NBA, right? Who's the coach? Jay Wright. He said, I had no idea Jalen Brunson was going to be this, and he was around him all the time, and he didn't know. So sometimes surprises happen in this universe, so we will see. In a perfect world, Cade's a guy at QB2. God forbid anything happens to Geno. We get excited about a young rookie quarterback stepping in there that maybe shows up something. So we'll see what happens. He'll get his opportunities in training camp.
Hey, do me a favor, BG. Find that photo of Mason Rudolph with his helmet like completely knocked over backwards.
Oh, from Myles Garrett?
I feel like, do you want that? Do you want that as our QB?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom.
Listen, I think the Knicks winning the title gives all New York fans, whatever their team, hope.
That's right.
I really do.
Hey, anything is possible. I'm saying one interception. I'm taking the over. It's going to happen this year. I'm taking the over. Smash the over.
They're making a big deal about interceptions in their notepads practice.
Let's go, Jets. Smash the over on the interception.
Real quick before you go, Philly, I just need to highlight what you just brought up. So let me throw this up on the screen, okay? Because, this guy's now back with the Rudolph stuff. Like, Myles Garrett bashed Mason Rudolph's head in. How did he not go to jail for murder? Those helmets, if you've never held one, I've held an NFL one, and they feel even heavier than the ones I wore in high school. He slammed, and look at Myles Garrett's 6 foot, whatever, 250-pound body, 6'5". And the force he can have where he's grabbing a helmet and full force bashing it over the top of someone's head. How did that not kill Mason Rudolph? And how did Myles Garrett not go to jail? I mean, Jesus. Good Lord.
Hey, Bob, what do you think his stats plummeted after that? Maybe a little CTE. on
Definitely
national
his
TV.
vertebrae
Look,
compressed.
he certainly had to go into concussion protocol after that.
His stats are, I guarantee, are lower.
But you'd think that Myles Garrett would be fined and suspended. You know,
Which I can't
for a hit
remember
like
what his punishment was, but I don't
It's on
remember it
Wemby
being
right there.
that severe. Yeah,
We call
but
that
again,
Wemby right there. Wemby
yeah,
treatment, right, Bob? That's the Wemby treatment.
that is nuts. That is nuts. That is
All right,
nuts.
guys.
Appreciate you,
have
Philly.
have a great weekend, Philly.
You too. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. There
Thank
you
you.
go. By the way, Philly Noodles announcement coming up tomorrow. I love how Philly's like, what in the God's green earth? What announcement is involving me? I think you'll like it. I think you'll like the announcement. So again, more details to come tomorrow. All right, Bob, let's finish it off with one last caller. It's Thunder Beast, baby.
Hola, Boy Green, and hello to you, Sir Bob. How are you?
Oh, hola.
Oh, okay, Bob.
What a party yesterday. That was a great part.
Are you
what a great party that was yesterday.
While I'm away?
The parade, yeah.
Yeah, as always. But that Knicks party was probably one of the best parties we ever saw. But I have to admit, Jalen Brunson stole the show. He did. He actually did. But to that Wemby guy, I think it's time the NBA needs to enforce a little, should I say, rule strict thing with, let's see, shoving and then getting in people's faces. I think it's time to start tightening up the rules.
I agree.
It doesn't take a socket set wrench and a couple pliers to do the job.
I think the NBA officials sent a message, particularly in the second half of Game 5, when they basically let everything go. And they said to the Knicks, okay, go ahead. Do what they've been doing to you the whole series. No harm, no foul.
You mean knock them on their ass a round or two?
Yeah, basically push them around, rough them up. No whistle.
Well, our thing was we're gonna take it to your ass, and when we do, it's called you're gonna get finished, and we polished them off just like a good old fashioned chocolate cake. That was easy. And knowing me, I know the goods when I see it. And knowing me, I'm not a chocolate cake person. I like cheesecake a little bit more.
Everything seems to come back to food with you, Beast.
Well, I like to be a critic of my own taste. I like to see the goods up front before you judge anything. It has to be up to standard par. If it's not, then you know where it goes. Basuramente, right in the garbage.
Yeah.
Hey, Beast, where are you? It looks like you're in a new location.
No, I'm in my studios right now. I'm just laying down because didn't get much sleep.
Oh, sorry about that, man.
But I've been having a lot of painful days because when you don't have a daughter to talk to, and then it's like all the BS gets. It's really insane right now. It's like it's a tough time for me right now, and everyone, some people like me go through a very tough time because you know how this new generation is today. No respect, still lacking, and they think they're God's gift to the universe. Unfortunately, one word: no.
Well, I'm sorry that you're going through that, Beast. We're thinking about you, pal.
And I understand that, but it's like when Ralph Hawk said on 61, "I'm not against about blowing off a little bit of steam." But the fellas look, but you know what? The world looks up to everyone like us, and there comes a responsibility that comes with it. You get to be the one.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, we are getting closer and closer to the preseason, and it's already coming up. But I gotta give credit to England. They kicked the crap out of Croatia 4-2. That was not just a statement. That was an ass kicking.
Yeah. The World Cup's been great. Yeah.
Oh, it's getting better. It's getting better. Nothing gets any better than this. But we got a long way to go. We got plenty of competition coming its way. The next match, England versus Ghana. Oh, that's going to be a good fight. But I don't see Ghana going right past the British. The British are too fast, especially when you got Harry Kane. Harry Kane.
Sure.
That man is a weapon of terror. But I'm surprised. I mean, they got a lot of new stars, which is surprising because I'm like, man, I can think of so many of the names that used to be on that team, from Frank Lampard to Steven Gerrard, even Michael Owen, David Beckham, Joe Cole, even Jermaine Defoe. I'm like, my God, England has changed, but man, that team is still staying strong. But in order for them to stay strong, they got a long way to go. It's been almost, let's see, from 66 to 26. Ooh, almost 70 years since they won their last World Cup in 66. 66 was their year. And we anything could happen right now. Who's going to win it? We don't know yet. It's a matter of who, what, where, when, why, and how.
That
all
is
six
the key
the six key elements, 6 keys. You know, and knowing me, I don't carry 6 keys on me because that's a little, you'd be a little crazy to do all that kind of goofiness. But also, I'll say this, man, that Knicks party was just amazing. Cool. Watching it live and seeing all the people out there, but then you got a few of the, the
sure.
The nutheads want to climb trees. It's like, it's like, why? Didn't your parents? It's like, didn't your parents ever raise you to be civilized? Or that's what's wrong with today's world. We are not civilized enough. It's because society has turned them into a bunch of animals. It's like, my God.
Yeah, did you see like the 2 women fighting? Like one was sitting on like a pole, and then another woman was up there, and then she threw the other lady down. And started
I saw that on Instagram and went, "Oh, what a bunch of idiots!" This is what America's turning into. We got to start getting a little tougher with our, policies. We're getting out of control here. Right?
Get the nut bolts. Yes.
It's called, you guys got to get your head straightened out. It's called, go see a psychiatrist or go see a doctor. It's bad enough we're trying to do our jobs here, and you're all going to come over here and act like some uncivilized animals?
Sure.
Jesus. Yeah. It's like, my God. I mean, I remember growing up when I was a kid. I mean, if we did stuff like that, we'd get our ass kicked for that.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, come on.
Eddie McGuire said he was right next to that yesterday. He was in the crowd where that incident I just responded to took place. So yeah, that's going viral.
These kids of today, they got no respect for nobody but themselves. It just shows the lack of incompetence that this world has turned into, and we need to start telling these youngsters, hey, we were around. We didn't do shit like this. We never did anything like this. Act like some kind of wacko, weirdo animal going up on a tree. Sooner or later you'll have idiots, doing this, sitting around drinking mop and glow, sticking mothballs up their ass. You probably got to have some moron with a broomstick right around his ass and then flying it around like he's some kind of a weirdo on crack cocaine. What's next? I don't know. Maybe society will tell us that, you can always drink a nice round of Kool-Aid with Tide Pods. What?
Yeah,
what are you smoking?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that at all. As a matter
I would have said this. You know what? As George Carlin once said, I never fucked a 10. Never fucked a 10. But one night, I fucked 5 2s. And I think that ought to count.
That mass. Beast, wise advice. Oh, God. Okay.
I'm glad my grandkids didn't walk in.
God. Jesus. All right. Before we wrap up, we have a super chat in here coming up from Indy. That's a beautiful.
All right.
Yes, let's go.
Wow.
So Indy says with a $5 super chat, tell Green Bean to count me in. I'm on Green Bean Island. We're starting 3-2. We're finishing 10-7. I got my tickets for week 1 Tennessee. I'm bought in to go. JETS. Jets. That's absolutely beautiful. That's absolutely lovely.
Here we go, guys!
Is this another Devin situation, Bob? Are you going to get any bets going on with the Indy now after the record stuff last year?
I don't know. Every time I hear the name Indy, I'm reminded that I think the first conversation he and I had.
Yes.
I asked him what about that second wide receiver?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And he told me how Justin Fields was going to pick the defenses apart. Throwing to the tight ends, throwing to the running backs, and I said, They're going to stack the box, and they're going to stop everything we try to do. And little did we know then, not even I, thought that Justin Fields was as impotent throwing the football as he was last year. So I respect Indy. Whenever he has been on, I've tried to ask him some questions because I really respect his knowledge of the game.
Sure.
3-2, I don't think it's out of the question. But, we'll see. It all depends on how quickly everything gels, how much, particularly on the defense, if the guys they brought in, and they're coached correctly and they're used correctly.
Right.
It's possible they can keep us into games because I think, Gino's going to get us more offense. May not be overwhelming at the start, but he's going to get us more offense than we had any point last year.
Which I don't know if that's saying more about Gino or less about whatever we had. But nonetheless, I appreciate it. So let's hope. So thank you, Indy, for the super chat. And again, I can't wait to see you in Tennessee. That's going to be spectacular.
And I'm glad, and we're all glad that you've been recuperating so well.
Yes, quite. There's so many people, and I don't want to miss anybody in our audience that require our prayers and been going through some tough times. I mean, hell, even Beast himself there was just talking about some tough times he's going through. So we're thinking about all you guys. This is a beautiful community, and great to have you guys a part of it. We have 200 people in the room. Guys, do me a favor, like the video and hit subscribe. Bob, any final thoughts before we put a bow on this puppy? Because next week, of course, is Carl McAdams.
No, nothing on my end. I'm kind of behind in catching up with what's going on because of the time change. I get up here at 7:00 in the morning.
Yes.
And it's 11:00 at night, the night before in Chicago.
Yeah, right.
So I don't even have full access to everything. So anyway, it's a strange world for a couple of weeks. But no, it's been great being on with you again, and I look forward to next week and to talking with Carl in depth and even taking a bunch of questions, from the listeners. Carl, specifically about his career and that sort of stuff, because it's a great. First of all, I'm touched that he's agreed to join us.
Yes,
and I'm also pleased to be able to put him on and let everybody find out what a class individual this guy is and was.
Yeah, so let me just say real quick, guys, because I know there's been some questions. Oh, man, could we call in and talk to the people and all these things? I think the best form of action is if you guys want to send in questions, we will have priority to super chats because technical difficulties could happen. Sometimes we bring a caller on and they're in the middle of traffic. We're just getting obtuse noises and things of that nature. It's more easily controlled with a super chat. Every super chat comes through, I can see, or Venmo or PayPal or something that comes in like that. So we will try to do that. And yes.
And we also have to remember that, in this case, Carl is he's pushing 85 years old. So.
Right. So keep that in mind. If you were to ask Carl McAdams, hey, what do you think of Geno Smith this year? I would probably avoid. Again, I have no idea what Carl's knowledge is on the subject matter, but I would imagine you're better served asking about his history with the team, things of that nature. But do some research. So yes, Jets Worldwide, BG, will you allow us to submit questions like Bob said? Yes, we'll give priority to super chat questions first, but I'll try to be looking throughout the chat throughout the show because me and Bob will both have questions. And then after that,
all of you guys out there, go look into Carl's career. There's a lot of material on the internet about his career, which will lead you to a lot of interesting questions. Here's one example. I won't ask it. Somebody else can be out there. Okay. And that is, Carl, how good do you think you would have been if you hadn't been injured?
Yeah, see, sure. That's a great one. But do research on his career.
He was a super talent.
Yeah, and send them in. So, yes, you guys actually can do that now. The interview is up. It's not up. We haven't done it yet. It's going to happen next week. But if you go to our live section, you'll see Carl McAdams' picture. If you click in there, it will allow you to send in super chats right now if you want to make sure you don't forget. And you can submit those questions right in that chat. And once we get into that conversation, I will star those questions. Then at the end of the interview, we'll take a bunch of questions from the audience. So if you have a good one right now, feel free to jump on over to that chat specifically, not this chat, that chat. If you go and see it, you guys can submit those in right now or live next week. So again, we will give priority to super chats. We likely won't open up the phone lines for you to talk with Carl McAdams just because there's a lot of variables and technical difficulties that could take place that could disrupt the conversation. So we'll take in super chat questions. That'll be probably the safest thing to do for that guest. But I want to thank everybody for joining us. We'll have an episode of Boy Green Daily tomorrow morning. We'll have some hop on pop action. We'll have the Jets Worldwide crew in. Matt Lombardo is going to be off for a few weeks as he enjoys a much-deserved vacation. Good for him. So looking forward to all of this. So, Bob, we'll see you next week. Enjoy Israel.
Thanks. You too. Hey, everybody, have a great weekend.
There you go. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.